Hi lovelies, Lauren here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all well. Today's practice is all about getting us motivated. I think we all go through those days where we just feel a bit meh and we're struggling to kind of pick ourselves up. So if you're feeling like that today, don't worry, I'm right there with you. I've been feeling kind of meh for the past couple of days. So yeah, let's see if we can change that around a little bit. So we're going to incorporate a couple of twists in the body here and there, see if we can shift our energy around, a little bit of a detox for the body. There's going to be some stronger elements in our practice as well, but if you are kind of new to yoga, I still think you could give this a go. But if you're looking for a more gentle introduction, maybe it's best to check out some of my other videos, and there's plenty of them there. Okay. So we're going to have quite a gentle start to our class, and then we're going to slowly build ourselves up, and then yeah, of course, we'll bring it down to a relaxation at the end. So you've got a lovely full class from me today. Okay, so let's start off by sitting nice and tall. You can prop yourselves up on maybe a cushion or a blanket, just so you can kind of lift the hips up, and maybe that allows the knees to settle out to the sides a little bit better. And as always, sitting up nice and tall, see if you can kind of soften those shoulders down and away from the ears. You might have a little wriggle here and there. And to start by closing the eyes, and let's start by bringing one hand to our lower belly, one hand to the chest. Doesn't matter which way round you go, just kind of go instinctively which feels better for you. And we're just going to take a few minutes to settle into our practice. Notice where we're at today. And just kind of notice what comes up for you here. Those different thoughts, those different feelings, maybe different sensations inside the body. Becoming aware of what's happening physically for you today. Maybe thinking about what's happening mentally, where your mind is at. Or maybe just becoming aware of your emotional state. And as always with our yoga practice, there's never any judgment here for however you're feeling. All we're doing is simply noticing without changing anything about ourselves here. As we continue to settle in, we're going to bring in this kind of subtle theme of Satya, which is the second yama, meaning truthfulness. And it's something I've been bringing up in all of my classes this week. And I think it's especially relevant when we're feeling a little bit low, maybe a little bit unmotivated. And the way we're going to bring in this Satya, this truthfulness, into our practice today is simply that, just honoring your own truth, being true to yourselves. So when we are feeling a little bit low, sometimes by simply acknowledging those feelings and accepting them for what they are, that in itself can help us feel just that little bit better. Just by accepting how you're feeling and just taking a moment to kind of sit with it, let it be. And you might feel that over time, you feel just that little bit brighter, that little bit better. And just keeping that in mind as we move throughout our practice today, honoring your truth. So if you come across any moments where it's a little bit of a challenge, maybe it's a little bit too intense for you and your body today, know that you can dial it down, you can adjust, you can modify. And just know that even though we may be doing the same poses, we're all going to be experiencing them differently. Every day is different. So just honor your truth, honor your own experience of your yoga practice, and tailor it to suit you and how you feel in the moment. Just something to keep in mind. But for now, let's continue to bring our awareness to our breath. Taking a lovely deep inhale in through the nose, maybe. Notice how the breath kind of travels in through the nose, down through the throat, You can maybe feel it moving past your chest. And see if you can send it deep down towards your belly. And then as you exhale, that pattern kind of repeats itself, going back the way it came, so the belly softens, chest lowers slightly. Breath travels all the way back out, up the throat, and you can either breathe out through the nose or through the mouth here. You might enjoy a couple of nice big sighs. So let's just do that a couple more times, following the own pattern of your breath. Notice where it travels. Notice the movement of your breath, taking that lovely inhale in through the nose. And an exhale. Beautiful. Let's go one more time. Lovely deep inhale in. And a lovely exhale out. Beautiful. Okay. You can keep the eyes closed here if you'd like, or you might start to flutter those eyelids back open. Welcome yourselves back into your lovely little yoga space today. And let's bring the palms of the hands together. You're going to interlace the fingertips and just give those wrists a little bit of a roll out. So it's always good just to spend a little bit of time focusing on our wrists, those little joints in the body, especially if you spend a lot of time maybe typing on a keyboard, laptop, or writing with a pen, just to kind of loosen up those joints, especially when we come to some of the more weight-bearing poses. And that as you keep going with this, see if you can just send that rotation in the opposite direction. One way is going to feel a little bit easier than the other. Perhaps we have a more dominant side. So it's always good just to check in. And maybe perhaps your less familiar side starts to feel that little bit more familiar. Okay, let's take a final breath here. Final exhale. And let's start to minimize that movement. Come back to center. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, start to push the backs of the hands out in front, like you're hugging a nice big beach ball or hugging a tree here. You're going to tuck the chin down towards your chest, rocking slightly back off your sit bones, and finding this nice curve in the spine and that nice deep stretch in between the shoulder blades there. See if you can separate the shoulder blades left to right. Beautiful. And really sink into that stretch. Keep pushing the backs of the hands away from you. There's that softness in the elbows. Take a breath here. Take an exhale. And then as we inhale, let's flip the palms up and over. Send the palms all the way up to the sky. Just feel the body grow. Almost like you're taking that nice big stretch first thing in the morning. So feel free to have a little wriggle from side to side. You might notice there's some tightness in the body. My shoulders are feeling particularly tight today, so do feel free to spend a little bit of time just easing out any tension here. If you can't lengthen out the arms completely, no worries. You can still have a little bend in the elbows. That perhaps means there's limited shoulder mobility there. So just go as far as feels good for you. If you can kind of lift up out of your rib cage, keep on growing. Take another breath in. And as we exhale, release the hands. Right arm is going to circle all the way down. It's going to come across to your left knee. So right fingertips to your left knee, left arm is reaching up and over. We take that side bend. Beautiful. So it may look like I'm doing the opposite to you. No worries. Just kind of listen to what I'm saying. Right hand to the left knee, left arm reaching up towards the sky. So you've got this opposite push and pull. Right hand reaching down, left hand reaching up. Lean over towards that right hand side. Deep stretch down the left. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, bring your left hand to fall down towards your right knee now. And you might need to cross the legs a little bit more here. So you've got this nice kind of anchor down through the knees here. So you've got the left arm crossed on top. Have an inhale. And as you exhale again, rocking slightly back off your sit bones, tuck the chin down towards the chest. And that might be a little bit of a deeper stretch in the back of the shoulder blades here. Beautiful. So you're kind of gently pulling on the knees slightly to further that stretch. Let's take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. Inhale. Let's start to rise all the way back up, sitting up nice and tall. Keep the left hand where it is on the right knee. Right arm is going to unthread out from underneath, and we're going to take that right arm all the way up to the sky. Simply moving into that side body stretch. On the other side, lean into that stretch. Stretch out through the fingertips here. Maybe you can think about spinning the torso up to the sky, maybe. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, the right hand comes back down towards the left knee, and now you've got the right arm on top. And same again, just have an inhale, lift up through the heart slightly. And then as you exhale, tucking chin down towards the chest. And there's that nice big stretch again. Beautiful. Let's just stay here for one more big breath in. One more big breath out. And then as we inhale, lift up through the heart, lift up through the chest. Imagine you're taking off a nice big cozy jumper. And we're going to lift up the arms, slowly unravel as you go. Reach up to the sky, big breath in. And as you exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Keep the hearts lifted here, fingertips just resting to the ground. And then start to pull the heart forwards, come into a lovely little seated forward fold. So we're keeping this really nice and soft today, so we're not thinking about pulling the body forwards at all. And you can use your breath to help you with this. So as you inhale, just think about creating a little bit more space. And as you exhale, maybe you can soften and creep the fingertips a little bit further forwards here. So we slowly, with our breath, sink deeper into that forward fold. And you can bring in a little bit of movement here should you wish. There might be a very gentle sway from side to side. Find what feels good for you and your body today. And again, still honoring your truth. So if you feel like you don't want to go as far in this, that's cool. Just keep it a little bit more upright. Totally your choice. Okay. And then gradually reaching the fingertips out maybe to your kind of maximum point. Let's take a breath here. Let's take an exhale. And then as we inhale, maybe you're just onto the fingertips here. And we're going to take the fingertips round towards the left-hand side, but keep reaching out as you go. And if you feel like the hands have come in slightly here, again, we can come back to the breath. We inhale, create a little bit more space. And as we exhale, we send the fingertips a little bit further out. And you can release through the back of the neck. You might be able to bring your chin down towards the left knee here, maybe. See if you can kind of send your right shoulder down. It's very tempting to kind of lean over towards the left-hand side and that right shoulder lifts. See if you can send it down, squaring off the shoulders here. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Inhale, creating a little bit of space, lift it through the heart. And then we're going to walk the hands through center, take it all the way over to the right. So same again, if you've noticed the hands come closer towards you and you want to go that little bit deeper, again, inhale, create space. Exhale, breathing the fingertips a little bit further forward. It's beautiful. Keeping the shoulders square, sending that left shoulder down. Yeah. And maybe the chin is just kind of resting on your right knee. Take a breath here. Take a breath out. Inhale, rising up. And then just taking the hands back through center. We're just going to stay here for one more breath maybe. And just see if you can come that little bit further. Notice whether there's more space for you now here. Now that we've kind of loosened up our lower spine, maybe we can go that little bit deeper. And just hold for a final breath in. And a final breath out. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to think about coming into our tabletop. So you may be able to kind of literally pull the body up and over through the legs. Or you might just want to swing the legs around to one side and make your way into your tabletop. However feels good for you. Just slowly make your way there. Don't feel as though you have to rush. Let's just bring the wrists either directly underneath the shoulders, or you might have them a little bit further out in front, depending on how your wrists are feeling. Knees are stacked underneath your hips, and as you arrive here, you might have a little wriggle from side to side. And again, just starting to getting the hands used to having a little bit of weight placed down into them. And then when we're ready, let's begin to move through our cat and cow. So as we inhale, let's drop the belly, lifting the tailbone up towards the sky, lifting the chest, gazing forwards, finding that nice stretch across the front of the body, across your abdominals here. See if you can squeeze the shoulder blades together slightly. And as you exhale, tucking the chin down towards your chest, pushing the ground away, finding a curve in the spine, and see if you can look down, maybe towards your belly button or towards your thighs here. Beautiful. And again, there's that stretch in the back of the shoulder blades. Now, as we inhale, we keep going, we drop the belly and we lift the chest. And if you practice yoga quite regularly, this is going to be a very familiar flow to you. If you're new to the practice, feel free to stay with this cat and cow, finding what feels good for you. But if you are quite familiar with this, and feel free to honor your truth. So you may wish to kind of take it a little bit further. You may bring a few ribcage circles, maybe. You may think about rippling the hips forwards and down, taking a little back bend. So just spending a little bit of time on your hands and knees here, just bringing in a little bit of movement that feels good for you. But of course, if you're happy to stay with your cat and cow, no worries, you can stay with that. So just have a few moments just to kind of explore what movements you'd like to bring to your practice. Notice how the body kind of responds. And it's just nice and easy. We're not working too strongly. We're still bringing some warmth, some fluidity into our spine. Lovely, well done. So let's take 2 more breaths with whatever movement you're kind of exploring here. Big breath in. Big breath out. One more big breath in. And a big breath out. Lovely, well done. And then when you're ready, come back into a neutral spine. And all you're going to do, ground down through the right side body and start to send your left leg back. Drop onto this left heel and start to sweep left arm forwards. So you're literally stacking the left side body on top of the right, and your right hand and right knee are really supporting you. You're pushing the ground away. Just take a breath in here. Take a breath out. And as you inhale, see if you can kind of lift and spin the torso up towards the sky. Beautiful, well done. Take another breath here. And as you exhale, bring that left shoulder again to stack over the right. Now from here, the upper body is going to remain kind of stable here. We're working a little bit with that left leg. So all you're going to do, inhale, lift the left leg, bring it in line with the rest of the body, and then exhale, tap the left leg down. That's all you're doing. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, tap it down. And you can kind of work either with a pointed foot, or you might prefer to work with a flexed foot. I'll leave that entirely up to you. By pointing or flexing the foot, you're targeting different muscles in the leg. So it's totally your choice. And all we're doing is kind of warming up into our glutes muscles, those muscles in our bum. Okay, keep that left shoulder rolled out, stacking on top of the right if you can. You might notice that left arm start to droop down here, but keep sending energy out through the left fingertips. Let's take one more breath. One more exhale. Inhale, lift the left leg, hold here. Exhale, see if you can squeeze your left knee towards your left elbow. Slowly gaze down towards the inside of your right hand and step your left foot there. So working our way into our little low lunge. So come down to frame that left foot first of all. Then we're going to brush the fingertips along that, lift the chest, lift the arms, low lunge. So as we're still kind of warming up here, we may not want to kind of sink the hips down straight away. If you do, and you're kind of familiar with that pose, feel free to go straight there, but it's always good just to keep a little bit upright first of all. If you may be having a right angle in the left knee, right angle in the right knee, and I want you to think about driving the hips forward. So almost like you're trying to slide right knee forwards along your mat, left foot is pulling back. So there's quite a bit of tension down beneath your left foot and your right knee. And see if you can find that stretch across the front of the right hip flexor here. Now let's just take a couple of breaths in. Couple of breaths out. One more big breath in. And a big breath out. Beautiful. As you inhale, think about reaching up through the fingertips, growing taller. And as you exhale, start to twist using your core round towards the left hand side. Beautiful. And then from here, releasing your arms down. So right hand is going to find the outside edge of your left knee. Left hand maybe just supports your lower spine first of all. Think about rolling this left shoulder back, and you can continue gazing towards the left hand side. Don't worry if you feel a little bit wobbly here. And you can stay here. Maybe let's stay for a breath. Exhale. And then you might find your left hand wants to kind of come down further, maybe to the back of the right thigh. And you can sweep that right arm up and over, taking a little bit of a deeper twist. And it's also working a little bit more into a back bend here. So take it nice and easy. Find a steady focal point. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Inhale, lift the chest, bring the arms back into a T shape. You're still twisting towards the left-hand side. And as you exhale, right hand comes down on the inside of that left foot. And we're going to work our way back into this modified side plank. So you've got the left arm reaching forwards, left leg reaching back. Find this nice long line again. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, maybe we can start to circle that left arm back, bend in that left knee. Maybe you can catch hold of your left toes or your left foot here. If you get that bind, just inhale, keep lifting up through the heart. See if you can kick this left foot away from you. Keep pushing the ground away through the right hand. Beautiful. Big breath in. Big breath out. As we inhale, we gently let go of that left foot. Find this long line again. And then exhale, gently come all the way back down into your tabletop. So left hand comes down, and left knee comes down underneath your left hip. And you might have a little wiggle from side to side again. Before we come on to the other side, you might have a cat and cow. Beautiful. Okay. And then when we're ready, now grounding down through the left side body, start to send your right leg back, drop the right heel down towards the ground, and you're going to sweep right arm forward. So you can pivot on your left knee slightly to bring your left ankle further back behind you. So there's a little bit more stability here. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. And as you inhale, think about spinning the torso up towards the sky, opening out across the heart. Big breath in. And as you exhale, gently come back, bringing the right shoulder stacked over the left. Lovely, well done. Let's bring in that movement with the right leg, either pointing or flexing the foot. Inhale, lift the right leg in line with the body. Exhale, little tap of those toes down. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, tap. And just keeping that going. So the upper body is nice and still. It's just little lifts with that right leg. And without kind of bringing the right foot to completely rest on the ground, it's still active. So it's just a light little tap towards your mat. And then you drive it back up again. Beautiful. Let's take one more inhale. One more exhale. Inhale, lift in the right leg. Hold here. As you exhale, see if you can squeeze your right elbow towards your left knee. Look down towards the inside of your left hand and step your back into our low lunge. So when you're ready, brush the fingertips along the mat, lift the chest, lift the arms. Now, if you find you were able to kind of sink down in the hips on the other side, feel free to come back to that on this side. Make sure you're equal in both sides of the body. If you remained a little bit more upright like me, we're going to do the same thing on this side. So again, stretching up through the fingertips, finding that drive of the hips forward. So almost like you want to push your left knee forwards along your mat and pull your right foot back. There's almost like kind of friction along your mats here, really grounding down through the lower body, finding that stretch across the front of that left hip flexor, and the feet and the knee are almost pushing down so much into your mat that again you might feel a little bit more wobbly here. It's just working on that stability. Okay, take an inhale, take an exhale. Inhale, think about growing a little bit taller. As you exhale, starting to twist towards the right hand side using your core, and then we can bring the arms down. So left hand to the outside edge of the right knee, right hand first of all just to support your lower spine, and think about rolling that right shoulder back, gazing out towards the side here. Lovely, well done. Still drive the hips forward, trying to slide that left knee forwards along your mat. You can hold here if this is where your truth is, stay here. Or you might find right hand wants to come down a little bit lower, maybe to the back of the left thigh, and you sweep the left arm up and over. Beautiful. So it's a little bit more of a back bend, and keep thinking about extending up through those left fingertips. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. Inhale, come back through a T shape, still twisting around towards the right hand side. Left hand slowly comes down on the inside of that right foot. Right arm is reaching up towards the sky, and then we ground down through the left side body to work our way back into that modified side plank. So right body stacks on top of the left, right leg is lifted back behind us, right arm reaching out in front. And then maybe from here, We can take that big inhale, start to circle that right arm back, bend into that right knee and see if our right fingertips can catch hold of our right toes or our right foot. If you've got that bind, inhale, lift up through the heart, kick that right foot back behind you, beautiful, well done. 2 breaths, inhale, and exhale. One more breath, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, start to lengthen, find this long line again. And exhale, right hand comes down and we fold that right knee down back into our tabletop. And again, take a little bit of time just to have a little wriggle on your mats, squaring the shoulders back off, squaring the hips back off. And then when you're ready, have an inhale to drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, tuck all 10 toes under. And as you exhale, starting to push down through the fingertips, peel the knees away from the mat, making our way into our first downward facing dog of our practice. So as always, feel free to bring a little bit of movement into your down dog, a little pedal out through the feet, bending one knee and then the other. Lovely, well done. Take another big breath in here. Big breath out. As you inhale, look forwards towards your fingertips, bend the knees, and starting to find this nice and easy walk all the way towards our hands. So you're gradually making your way into your standing forward fold. Take your time to get there, no rush. Finding your feet hip distance apart, toes pointing forwards. Little softness in the knees, and you've got this real heavy torso, heavy head, heavy arms. So you think about folding from your hips if we can here, rather than folding from our lower spine. So if you feel like you're kind of up here like this, I want you to think about still lifting the tailbone up towards the sky, pouring the heart forwards. Okay. But no worries if that still feels like a little bit too much for you. I want you to kind of release into this forward fold, so you might catch hold of opposite elbows. Nice little sway from side to side, release in the back of the neck. Nodding the head, shaking the head. Beautiful. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Lovely. From here, releasing both arms. Nice deep bend in the knees now as you tuck the toes, tuck the tailbone under, sorry. Push down through the feet. Slowly start to uncurl, rising all the way up. Again, take your time. No need to rush. Gradually coming all the way up to standing. Send those shoulders down and away. Head is the final thing to lift. Take a moment to notice how you feel now that you are stood. And then see if you can find a steady focal point. You might want to again come back to one hand on the chest, one hand on your lower belly. And just notice how you feel here. Notice what comes up for you. Maybe you're feeling quite strong now that you are stood. Maybe you're still feeling quite tired. But no worries. Let's take another big breath in. And another big breath out. Lovely, well done. Okay, let's take a nice big breath in, this time sweeping the arms all the way up. Growing tall here, reaching up through the fingertips. And then as we exhale, we're going to open out across the heart, reach the arms out towards the side, hinge at your hips, bend in the knees if you wish. And start to pull all the way back down to your standing forward fold. We're going to add in a little halfway lift here. So as you inhale, bring your fingertips towards your shins, zipping up through your spine, trying to find this nice flat back here. As we exhale, we fold. Lovely. From here, nice deep bend in both knees. First of all, you might need to use a block here maybe, but you're going to place the right hand just a little bit further in front of your right foot. If the hands don't come comfortably down towards the ground, despite bending the knees as much as you can, use a block underneath your right hand to give you that little bit more height here. Okay? But with both knees nice and bent, you're going to brush left fingertips along that. Start to reach left arm forwards and up. As this happens, you lengthen in your left leg, sink deeper into your right. So revolve, standing forward, fold. And again, there's another little twist in the body here. See if you can roll that left shoulder back. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, circle left arm back and down. Bend into both knees. Repeat that on the other side. Left fingertips down, or just in front of that left foot. Bending in both knees, brushing right fingertips forwards and up. Start to lengthen the right leg as you sink further into the left knee, reaching right arm up towards the sky. Beautiful. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, right arm circles back and down. Lovely. Come back to another halfway lift. Inhale, fingertips to your shins. Exhale, forward. And then bend your knees, placing both hands down towards the mat. Have a little step back, one foot at a time, coming into your plank pose. Finding your hips in line with your shoulders. See if you can tuck the tailbone under, activating your glutes. If this is too much, feel free to drop the knees straight away. Lovely, well done. Let's take a big breath in. And as you exhale, you can drop the knees if they're not already, or you can shift the weight forwards towards your fingertips, hug the elbows in, come down through a little chaturanga. Coming all the way down onto your bellies. Beautiful. Separate the legs as you arrive here. Toes pointing out, heels in. Nice big roll of the shoulders back as you peel the ribcage away from the mat into a back bend of your choice. So you might take a little baby cobra here. You might experiment with taking the hands off. Or you might be pushing down through the fingertips, rising up a little bit higher. Softening through the elbows, shoulders away from the ears. Beautiful. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, tucking the toes under, lifting the hips all the way up towards the sky. Back into our downward facing dog. Feel free to spend a couple of moments bringing some movement in here. A little shimmy of the hips from side to side, bending in one knee and then the other. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. Okay. Grounding down through your left foot. Actually, before you do that, just walk your feet in just a touch, maybe just a couple of inches, and you can bend in the knees as much as you wish here. Now grounding down through your left foot. You're going to send right leg up towards the sky, keeping the hips square first of all. As you exhale, open out into that right hip, stacking right hip on top of left. Bend into this right knee. Beautiful. So you might kind of feel that twist in the body as you start to be able to look underneath your right arm maybe. Just hold here for a breath. Lifting that right knee as high as you can. Exhale. Now we're going to start to incorporate some circles. So this is where we're thinking about building a little bit more strength. So as you inhale, you're going to shift the weight forwards into your fingertips. Circle this right knee out towards the side. See if you can bring your right knee to the back of the right arm. Maybe it taps the right elbow. It sweeps across to your left elbow. And then you send the hips up towards the sky. Right thigh brushes across the left. As you inhale, open that right knee back out towards the side here. We're going to do this twice more. Take an inhale as you shift the weight forwards into your fingertips, right knee out towards the side, right knee to your right elbow, sweeps across to the left elbow, and then inhale, drive it back. Beautiful, well done. One more time, right knee out towards the side, shift the weight forward, right knee to left elbow, right knee to the right elbow, then it sweeps across to the left. Now we can take it all the way back up to the sky. Beautiful, big breath in here. Exhale, send your right knee towards your right elbow again. Hold here, push the ground away. See if you can bring that right knee to tap the back of the right arm. And then gently step right foot to the outside of that right hand. And we're going to come into lizard pose. Well done. So, left knee down. You can keep the heart lifted here. You can have a little wriggle from side to side as you arrive. So you've got the toes turned out slightly. Right knee is over your right. And it's up to you how far you want to go with this. You can keep that knee lifted, kind of think about driving the hips down towards your mat. You can maybe think about lifted coming down onto your forearms, or you might want to bring that knee down again. Totally your choice. Where you want to be, there's lots of options here. I often quite like to just bring a little bit of movement in. Beautiful. And just notice your breath rate here as we brought that kind of slow, strong movement in. You might have noticed the heart rate pick up slightly, the breath rate pick up slightly. Beautiful. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. Now let's start to rise back up. Push down through the fingertips. Lift the chest if it's not already. Lift that left knee back up. And we're just going to step right foot back next to left. Back into our downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Take a breath out. Let's repeat all of that on the other side. So again, maybe walking the feet in just a couple of inches, bending in the knees here. We're going to send left toes up towards the sky, grounding down through that right foot. Hips are square. And then opening out into that left hip, bending into that left knee. So see if you can really lift that left knee high into the sky, out towards the side. Take a breath here. Take an exhale. Let's bring in those circles. So as you inhale, lift that left knee out towards the side. Shift the weight into your fingertips. Drive this left knee towards your left elbow. See if you can tap it there. Sweep it across to the right elbow. And then send it all the way back up to the sky. Left thigh brushes against the right. Inhale, open that left knee. Beautiful. Keep it going. Left knee towards left elbow. Really push the ground away through your fingertips. Sweep it across to the right. Then send it all the way back up one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Here you go. Gently sweep left knee across to the right elbow. Send it back up towards the sky. Breath in here. And as you exhale, shift the weight forwards. Drive left knee again towards your left elbow. Hold here. Keep pushing the ground away. Send that left knee as far forwards as you can. And then gently step in that left foot on the outside of that left hand. Well done. Okay. Back into our lizard pose on the other side. So whatever variation, whatever modification you took on the other side, try to repeat the same on this side. So just have a little check-in. Make sure you've got left knee over the left ankle. Toes are turned out slightly. You can have that back knee down and kind of wriggling around from side to side like I am. You might be down on your forearms. You might have that back knee down, or you might have it lifted. Totally your choice. Where you want to be today. Beautiful. Take a couple of breaths in. Couple of breaths out. Maybe one more big breath in. And a big breath out. Lovely, well done. Let's bring the hands down towards the mat. Lift the chest if they're not already. Tuck right toes under. Simply step left foot all the way back next to right. Downward facing dog. Lovely, full round of breath here. Exhale. Inhale, look forwards towards your fingertips. Bend the knees. Your choice, you can walk, step or hop to the top of your mat. Lovely. As you arrive here, inhale, have a halfway lift. Fingertips to your shins, zipping up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, rising all the way up. Sweep the fingertips out towards the side as you grow tall here. Big stretch up. And as you exhale, bring the palms down through heart center. Hinge straight back at the hips and we fold straight back down. Lovely. Inhale, another halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands. Your choice. You can step or you can hop it back into your plank. Find this nice long line. Inhale. As you exhale, maybe you drop the knees or you shift the weight forwards, come down through your chaturanga, feel the elbows graze your ribs as you go. And then inhale, your choice of back bend, either taking a little baby cobra, you might rise up to your full cobra, or you might be experimenting with a little upward facing dog, so you might press into the tops of the feet, lifting the hips and thighs away. And as you exhale, roll over those toes, hips to the sky, downward facing dog, beautiful. Have a little wriggle here, big breath in. Big breath out. Lovely, okay. Grounding down through our left foot again. Inhale, right toes towards the sky. Hips stay square, right leg stays long. Exhale, squeeze right knee in towards the chest. Maybe see if you can bring it all the way towards your nose. And then softly step right foot forwards in between the hands. Lovely, well done, okay. We're going to keep this back knee lift this time as we brush the fingertips along the mat. Let's come all the way up into a high lunge. So working on a little bit more stability through the feet. So really kind of spread the toes down and towards your mat. Keep the hips square to the front. A little softness in that back knee. Pull the ribs in here. So we're not taking this into a back bend at all. I want you to feel the rib cage kind of knitting together. Fingertips reaching up towards the sky. Beautiful, well done. Take an inhale here. Take an exhale. One more. Beautiful. Okay, inhale, grow a little bit taller. As you exhale, you're going to start to twist towards the right hand side. Find this T shape with the arms. Right arm reaches back, left arm reaches forward. And then slowly, slowly, left hand is going to come down on the inside of that right leg into a revolved runner's lunge. Now, if this is too intense for your hips today, again, you can come down and drop that left knee. If you find you need a little bit more height underneath that left arm, again, use a block, use a couple of books, whatever you have to hand to give your bodies a little bit more support here. Okay. Wherever you are, take a lovely full round of breath in. Lovely breath out. Let's circle right arm down to frame that right foot. You're going to hop your left foot in slightly, shortening your stance. See if you can drop your left heel down. So just have a little look down towards your feet. Make sure the feet are as if they're on train tracks. They're not in one long line. So the feet are slightly separated here. Take a moment to maybe bend into your right knee. Again, you might need blocks in a moment here. As you exhale, start to lengthen off this right leg. So only go as far as you want to go. If you, again, need a little bit more height, use some blocks, lift it through the heart. If that's still not enough height for you, we can come up even higher, bringing the chest parallel to the ground, hands towards our hips. And we can hold here. Have a little bit of awareness of your right knee. It's quite easy to lock out in this right knee, so maybe there's a little bit of a micro bend there. Beautiful, okay. Think about the alignment in your hips. See if you can drive right hip back, left hip forwards. Hold for a full round of breath. And exhale. Beautiful. Let's bend back into our right knee now. You're going to take a little hop back with that left foot. So again, you're widening the stance. We're going to walk our hands around to the left long edge of your mat. Drop the left heel down. Both toes turn out slightly. Still sinking into your right knee. So you're coming into a little skandasana, a little side lunge. So it's up to you how far you want to go. Again, maybe you have your hands towards your hips, aiming for your hips to be lower than your heart, ever so slightly. You may want the fingertips down for a little bit more support. You may have the space in your hips to sink even lower, and maybe you can lift those left toes up towards the sky. So you've kind of got three options where you want to be there. So as always, listen to your truth, decide which works better for you. Let's just take a breath here. Breath out. And then inhale, push down through this right foot, lengthen both legs. Let's come into a wide legged forward fold. So you're going to turn the toes in slightly, heels out. And it's up to you. Use blocks if you need to. Again, you can have a bend in the knees, maybe hands are towards your hips and you're holding there. Or maybe you're softening into this forward fold, letting the head be heavy. So you've got that little shake in the head, a little nod in the head. And if you're quite comfortable in your wide leg forward fold, just have a little think about shifting the weight a little bit further forwards towards your toes here. Beautiful. Let's just hold for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. Push down through the fingertips to lift the chest. Bend back into the knees. Walk your hands back around to frame your right foot. You're back in a little runner's lunge facing the top of your mat. Stepping right foot back, next to left into our plank pose. Breathe in. As we breathe out, let's move through a little bit of a flow. So coming down through your chaturanga, all the way down to your bellies. And again, you have your choice of back bend. Baby cobra, full cobra, or upward facing dog, your choice. Breathe in. Exhale, tucking the toes, hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Lovely, okay. So we're nearly there. Let's just do this on the other side. So again, keeping that balance in the body. And you might notice one side feels a little bit different compared to the other. So it's always good to just check in. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Ground down through your right foot. Inhale, left toes towards the sky. Hips are square, left leg is long. Exhale, left knee in towards your chest. Maybe see if you can tap your knee with your nose. Softly step the left foot forwards. Beautiful. Grounding down through the feet when we're ready. Let's rise all the way up into our high lunge. Beautiful. Okay. So notice how this feels for you on this side. Again, you've got that sinking into the left knee. A little softness in the back knee there. Spreading the toes down and towards the mat. Knitting the rib cage in. Fingertips reaching up towards the sky. Beautiful. Find a steady focal point if you're feeling a little bit wobbly today. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, grow a little bit taller. Exhale, start to twist, opening towards the left-hand side. Bring the arms out into this T shape, right arm forward, left arm back. And then slowly bring your right hand down on the inside of this left leg for your revolved runner's lunge. So again, you may want to kind of pop that right knee down to take the pressure off. Entirely up to you. Or you might be feeling quite good here, sinking the hips down, reaching up through the left fingertips, trying to roll this left shoulder back. Big breath in. Exhale, left arm circles forwards and down, a little hop forwards with the right leg. So coming back to our pyramid pose on the other side. So first of all, really sinking into this left knee. If you know you needed blocks on the other side, or if you're a little bit higher, just keep that in mind as we go. So we're taking the same variation on both sides of the body. Sinking into that left knee as you inhale. Exhale, start to lengthen the left leg. Beautiful. So again, you might have blocks underneath your hands. That's really good, especially if you're kind of really focusing on your hip alignment. So there's more space to think about pulling the left hip back, right hip forwards. And there's more space to also focus on this knee here. So I'm quite locked out in my knees. So I always need to bring a little bit of a micro bend in there. Maybe you are finding it's similar. Or if you haven't got blocks, maybe you've got your hands towards your hips. And again, so it's a little bit stronger without the blocks there, but it means we can get our core a little bit more involved. So wherever you are, hold for 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Sinking back into your left knee. Little hop back with the right foot, widening your stance. Walking the hands around to the right leg edge of your mat now. Turning both feet out. Sinking into your left knee. And again, you've got those 3 options. So you might have your hands towards your hips. Heart is higher than your hips here. You might have your fingertips down towards the ground for a little bit more support, and you might be thinking about sinking down in the hips more. Or you might be coming down even lower, right toes lifted towards the sky, and that right leg is nice and long. Beautiful, wherever you are. 2 more breaths. Big breath in. Big breath out. 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. From here, push down through this left foot. Lift the hips up towards the sky. We're coming back into that wide leg forward fold. So again, you've got the toes turned in slightly. Heels are out. And this time, if you're really comfortable in your forward fold, you may like to experiment with threading the arms through and kind of bending the elbows. See if you can pull your chest through your legs here. So again, you're kind of shifting the weight forward into your toes. Beautiful. Hold for 2 breaths. Exhale. 1 more. And exhale. Okay. Bringing the hands back out in front, lifting the chest, bending the knees as you go. Walk the hands back around to frame that left foot to runner's lunge. Exhale, left foot's back, next to right, into our plank pose. Breathe in. And exhale, moving through your flow, softly coming down towards the mat. Inhale, shoulders away, lifting the chest, your choice of back bend. And exhale, making your way back. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. This is our final down dog of our practice today. So spending a couple of moments just checking in with the body. Notice how sturdy you might feel here now. Maybe there's more space in the body. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. And then from here, we're going to make our way down to seated. So it's your choice how you get yourselves there. You might simply lower the knees down. Or you might take a little transition. You're going to look forwards towards your fingertips, bend the knees, hop the feet forwards, crossing at the ankles. And then gently bring yourselves down to seated. So however you got yourselves down here, no worries as long as you got down safely. Make your way there, just sitting up nice and tall once you arrive, peeling the flesh away from the sit bones. Lengthen the legs out in front. Peeling the toes back towards the face, and there's a little bit of softness in the knees here, so we don't want to be, again, locking out in the knees so that the heels lift away from the mat. We want to keep those heels down, that little bend there, okay? And then from here, let's just take a nice big inhale, reach up towards the sky. And as we exhale, see if you can fold from your hips, keep reaching as you go. And bring your hands down to wherever they fall. So they might meet the toes, they might meet the shins, or they might just want to rest either side of the legs. But wherever you've gone to, have that little awareness of making sure you're folding from your hips. And just to say, if you really feel like you're kind of up here and you've got this real rounded spine and you can't really go any further than this, bring in your props. Even if you don't have blocks, bring in a couple of cushions, a book, maybe with a blanket on top just to give you that little bit more support. And I'm just going to show you this variation because I think it's really handy for working on your flexibility in your seated forward fold. So I'm going to bring my block down. I'm literally going to come to sit on my block, and you can use as many blocks as you need here. And again, this is great for kind of lifting the hips up slightly. I'm flexing in my toes, flexing my feet so my knees are bent. And the same way, you can also use a strap here if you wish. In the same way we just done, we reach up towards the sky. When we exhale, we think about folding forward. So see if you can bring your kind of lower belly flat towards your thighs and reaching forward here. So notice you've got a much longer spine here. We're not so rounded. So maybe if that was you in the pose before, experiment with this and just see if you can go that little bit further. Again, even if you can't reach the toes, use a dressing gown, belt, a tie, whatever you've got to hand to kind of guide you further into that stretch. Or you might just rest your hands on your shins here. So, wherever you are, take 2 more breaths. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Lovely. Okay, as you inhale, start to walk your hands towards you, rising back up through the chest. And you're going to bend your right knee as you go. Hug your right knee into the chest. Cross it over the left leg. Keeping the left leg nice and active, so left foot is still flexed, and see if you can press your right big toe down and towards the mat. Sitting up nice and tall, right hand comes to the ground behind you. Use that as a little kickstand to keep the spine elevated. Send left fingertips up towards the sky. And as you exhale, see if you can hook that left elbow on the outside edge of the right knee, using it as an anchor to kind of twist you further round. If that feels a little bit uncomfortable for you, you may simply opt to kind of hug this right thigh in towards the chest instead. Sometimes that feels a little bit better. Beautiful. Take a big breath in. See if you can sit up that little bit taller. And as you exhale, see if you can twist that a little bit further around. Beautiful. One more breath here. One more exhale. Inhale, start to unravel, coming through a little counter twist. So you're just going to bring your hands down towards your left, lightly dip the chin and the chest down just for a moment, and then we can rise back up through center. Beautiful. Okay, uncrossing the right leg. Let's do the exact same on the other side. So bring left knee in towards the chest, hugging it in for a moment, a little shimmy, a little shake. And then crossing it over the right leg remains active, left big toe down and towards the mat. Left hand to the ground so we can keep the spine sitting up nice and tall, shoulders away from the ears. Reach right arm up as you breathe in. Exhale, hooking the elbow or maybe hugging the thigh in towards the chest. Whatever feels best for you to get that kind of anchor to twist the torso further round towards the left. Beautiful. Let's take 2 breaths here. So as you inhale, think about growing even taller. As you exhale, twisting that little bit deeper. Beautiful. Take a final breath in. Final breath out. Okay. And then inhale, gently start to unwind. And again, take that little counter twist down towards the right. So hands down towards your right hand side. Lightly dip the chin and the chest down. And coming all the way back up through center. Beautiful. As you uncross that left leg, bend in both knees so the knees point up towards the sky. And from here, reaching the fingertips forward, sitting up nice and tall. As you exhale, slowly, we're going to start to roll down. So take your time, no need to rush. You might find this kind of little sticky point where things get a little bit shaky. And if you're doing this with a partner, pause for a moment, ask them how their day is going. Hold there. Take a breath in. Exhale, slowly coming down that a little bit more. See if you can identify each moment where one vertebrae kind of meets your mat here. Staying lifted for as long as you can. And then gently releasing all the way down. Beautiful. So as you arrive here, just let the spine kind of decompress, kind of neutralize. And just bring a little sway in the knees from side to side. Okay, nice and easy. Getting maybe a little bit of opening in the hips here, easing out any tension that may be there. Lovely. And then from here, just let both knees fall towards your left hand side, coming into as deep of a spinal twist as you'd like. So, as you bring the knees down towards the left, you may want to bring your right knee, right ankle to stack over the left leg. As this happens, open the arms out into a T shape or a cactus shape, depending how much space you have. And then you may opt to bring this right knee a little bit further forward, so a little bit further over towards the left. So notice how your right hip kind of lifts away from the mat. And if you're going a little bit further, if you're coming to this point, maybe then bring your left hand down to the outside edge of your right thigh to kind of gently push that right knee down towards the ground. And you're not really kind of actively pushing down, it's just kind of the weight of your hand there, guiding it down towards the ground. And if you're comfortable in your spinal twist, and if it's comfortable for your neck, maybe you turn your gaze to look over towards the right hand side. Beautiful. Wherever you are in your spinal twist, take a lovely full round of breath. Take an exhale. Okay. And then from here, let's come all the way back through center. So again, T shape or cactus shape with the arms. You might pause for a moment, or you might sway the knees from side to side again, equaling out in those hips, equaling out in the spine. And then let's bring the knees down towards the right hand side and taking it into the spinal twist in stages. So as you bring the knees down, you might bring that left leg to kind of stack on top of the right, or you might start to bring it further over towards the right hand side, and that right hand again can gently rest on the top of that thigh to guide it down towards the ground. Beautiful. If it's okay for your neck, now turning the head to look towards the left. Beautiful. Take one more breath here. One more exhale. Lovely, okay. And then gently coming all the way back through center. And we're slowly going to make our way into a little relaxation. But of course, if you feel like there's any final few stretches that you feel as though your body needs today, do feel free to kind of honor your experience. Like I said at the beginning, take some time to do those final few stretches. And let's start to make our way into our relaxation when you're ready. And you can choose where you want to place yourself for this as always. So you might keep the knees bent, especially if that feels better for your lower spine. You then might allow to kind of knock together, feet out towards the side. Or you might opt to lengthen the legs out long. You can have the hands resting on your belly. You might allow them to kind of rest down by your sides. And if they're down by your sides, see if you can really bring the back to the hands down towards the ground. Fingertips just naturally curling in. And take a moment to really allow yourselves to soften. So see if you can bring the eyes to a close off the outside world. And settling in here. And just notice how you feel. Again, notice what comes up for you now. Notice if it's the same as before, or maybe things have changed slightly. And slowly inviting in this lovely stillness after our movement practice. Welcoming in this peaceful, calm state. And as you rest in this place, know that this is who you truly are. So you're not perhaps a stressed out mum like you felt before our practice today, or an overworked work colleague. You're not that person kind of slouching around on the sofa or maybe in bed. This is who you truly are, in this calm, peaceful, quiet state. And as you leave your mats today, as you move throughout the rest of your day, see if you can take this with you, taking our practice off the mat and finding moments where we can bring back this stillness, bring back this peaceful state. and reconnecting back to your true nature. Let's spend the final few moments kind of allowing that to just sink in. Let those words sink in as you sink deeper into your mat. The mat is kind of cushioning you here, supporting the body after being nourished by our physical practice today. And then finally, let's take a deep breath in through the nose and a lovely sigh out through the mouth. 2 more of them. Big breath in through the nose and a nice big sigh. 1 more time. Big breath in. Big breath out. Okay. Slowly, slowly starting to filter some movement back into your bodies. But of course, if you'd like to stay here a little bit longer, you can pause the video or you can ignore me for the next few moments, no worries. But if you're ready to go, bring some movement back in, rotating the wrists, rotating the ankles. Maybe you're kind of waking yourselves back up by taking that lovely full body stretch along your mat, stretching the arms back behind you, stretching the toes out front here. Lovely, and as you exhale, and again, we can soften all the way back down. Beautiful, okay. And then when you're ready, just choosing a side, be it the left or the right, and roll all the way over onto that one side. Taking your time, pause there for a moment to make a little pillow with the hands for the head to rest on. And then using your hands to help you to push you all the way up, coming back to a comfortable seated position on your mat. And keeping the eyes closed here if you can. Sitting up nice and tall, resting, maybe the palms down on the knees, or you might have the palms facing up, depending which feels better for you. Shoulders soft down and away from the ears, and as always, sealing our practice with the final blessing. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you at night. May the rain wash away your worries, and may the breeze blow new strength throughout your being. May you walk through the world knowing its beauty all the days of your life. And from here, bring the hands together in front of the heart. You bow. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I hope that's left you maybe feeling just a little bit more energized and ready to tackle whatever the rest of the day has to bring you. Okay, so have a lovely day, lovely week, and I'll see you next Sunday with another class. See you then. Mwah.